Is it over? Is it over? Is the bottom in? Is it time to go back to Moon City? Let's not get too excited too quickly, although we have had some very bullish news today in the markets. We also have some big money buyers throwing a lot of money into Bitcoin under $30,000, which is very, very interesting. And Elon Musk has revealed his cryptocurrency portfolio. I will discuss all of that and much, much more in today's video. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic that you would like to learn some more about, then make sure that you are a subscriber to the Lark Davis channel, that you gently tap on the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, just gently of course, and click on the notification bell to know when I put out a new video. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the charts, have a look at what is going on with Bitcoin here. We did get a nice, very nice looking green candle, love that. Good, strong, bullish engulfing candle here, twice the size of the previous day's red candle. That, of course, is on the back of the euphoria of the B Word conference that saw Elon Musk and Cathie Wood and Jack Dorsey and some other dude sitting down to talk about Bitcoin. People got very excited about that. Also about the news that Tesla's accepting Bitcoin, or thinking about accepting Bitcoin potentially again in exchange for cars. We'll talk more on that in a few minutes. Now, one thing I really want to point out here about this particular move is just let's have a look here at the volume. Volume, not super impressive. Yes, it's a green candle. Yes, obviously some buyers did step up here, but that green candle, the pump, was less than the red candle before that. The move that brought us down to, what did we get down to? $29,300 the other day. So it was also a very low conviction volume-wise move. Just look here for reference, right? So this is today's green candle. That is the volume for that candle. Look back here. That was much more significant volume. Obviously, it was a bigger dip that came in. This is when Bitcoin got all the way down to $28,700. We had a lot of buyers stepping up the pressure here. But we've had a lot of days with much, much stronger volume. And those have been rather lackluster days that have not turned the market around, that have not indicated, hey, that's a major market reversal. We have a strong conviction from buyers. The bulls are back in charge of the market. We haven't had any of that stuff yet. So it's nice to see the green candle. Not super excited to see a green candle like this on such low volume, relatively, obviously. And for perspective, we still haven't even reclaimed the 50-day simple moving average. That's, if we're even going to start to talk about the bulls taking the reins, getting back in the driver's seat, the bare minimum we need to do is to recapture the 50-day moving average. Preferably, we're going to get back up to start retesting the 200-day moving average and conquer that. That's around $45,000 right now. That's what we need for Bitcoin to do, to really say, hey, bull market back on, baby. Straight up to the moon, all that fun kind of stuff. But until we can at least recapture the 50-day simple moving average. Bears still in the driver's seat. And you guys know what happens when you let bears drive cars. It's not good. It's not good. Just don't let it happen, okay, when you can. Now, interesting too, I want to have a quick look at this. This is the RSI for Bitcoin. We'll just move that up there a little bit more. So it has been on this incredible downtrend since the start of the year. Since January 8th or 9th, we've just been hitting these lower highs for the RSI, and down and down and down and down and down goes. Now what's interesting is that right now we've been testing this line multiple times. Tested it here, 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 and again today, just here. Now look, at the moment, it's just peaking. It's trying to peak above this line here. We still have some hours to go until the daily close. Obviously, I would like to see something more definitive shaping up here. But if the RSI can actually get back up to, let's say, 46 or 47 over the next day or two, that would represent a pretty significant reversal in terms of this, what has essentially been an RSI downtrend for a very, very long time. So it would show that there is strength coming back into the market, because obviously the market looking very weak right now, not only the volume, of course, but the RSI showing that we've got a rather lackluster market going on until we pass over that 50 line, at least the midpoint here of the RSI. I think we're going to see the market struggling a little bit there. So hopefully we do see it reclaiming this trend, breaking out of it, going on to start a new trend and getting past this incredible downtrend that we've seen for the RSI on Bitcoin. Anyway, here's the really important thing to realize about trying to time the bottom perfectly. I know a lot of people are obsessed with this. When's the exact bottom? When's it going to come in? I know there's a lot of people who are still convinced that the price is going to drop another 50, 60, 70, 80%. People are literally out there. I see them all the time saying, hey, look, Bitcoin's going down to $3,500, it's going down to $10,000, it's going down to $15,000. Maybe we get down to the mid-20s somewhere. Who knows, right? The point I want to make, though, because a lot of people get super, super obsessed. Well, I've got to perfectly sell the top and I have to perfectly buy the bottom. Here's the straight dope for you. Almost nobody does that. Very, very few people might randomly do it. And a few traders who are really good and it works in their favor this time, they might do it. The vast majority of people do not perfectly sell the top and do not perfectly buy bottoms in markets. And you know what? You don't need to. This is the really important thing, the message to take home here. The real money in markets is made in between the bottom and the top. Might sound obvious, but I don't think enough people realize this simple reality of investing. When the markets are down, you cost average into the strong positions, Bitcoin, Ethereum, top altcoins, Chainlink, Polkadot, whatever you might fancy there. You buy dips when the market is, giving you those opportunities. And then later on, when the market starts pumping, you ladder out on pumps. Again, there's people who just hold those bags waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, it's going to keep going up and this is not the top and all that stuff. Ladder out, man. When your coin pumps 10x, take some profits off the table, get your capital out, relax a little bit, take out some money, buy something nice for yourself and the missus, or the mister, whatever. This is very, very important because this is how winning is actually done. People who are able to get into positions at good entries, buy low, right, and then sell high. And you don't have to wait for the perfect top. This is what gets so many people screwed up because they just wait, and then the greed kicks in and they think the market's going to go higher, higher, and it doesn't. And they miss taking any profits. And then things start going down. And once it's down 20, 30% from the all-time high, you might still be in profit at that point. But you think, well, come on, it's going to go back up. I'd be a fool to sell right now. I'd be a fool to take any profits on this. The foolish thing is not taking any profits. Because when you take profits, you get some cash on the side, you can throw it into some kind of yield farm or one of the lending services, whatever it might be. You can put it in BlockFi or Celsius or an Anchor protocol, wherever you can get some money in, put it over there, starts earning you some passive income. Nice. Then while you're waiting to buy the dip, you're making money. That's how winning's done. And I think likewise, when we get down to these very pessimistic, fear-driven times in the market, people, at the same way they get overly greedy at the top, they get overly greedy, or perhaps we could say overly fearful at the bottom, right? So you have people now, though, the ones who want to buy the super dips, who are calling for, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Bitcoin, whatever it might be. It's overly fearful. Or perhaps we could say overly greedy. The ones who want to buy super low, they're being overly greedy because now's a decent time to be cost averaging in. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing anyway. Maybe you'll watch this video in a year and you'll just go, idiot. Total idiot. I can't believe he was buying Bitcoin in those ranges. This guy, I tell you. Or not. But I stick to my plan. I have my plan. I share what I do with you here on the channel. That's what I do. It's worked out pretty well for me over the past years of investing in this market, and I continue to do well, and I can have the plan to continue basically doing this. Cost averaging in, buying dips, laddering out on pumps, creating passive income with the profits. It's not that hard, but the fear and the greed tend to screw most people up. So Look, we're going to cover some bullish news stories here in just a moment that might show that we're starting to see a flip of the narrative coming around. The technicals are still looking very bearish. I just want to point that out, that at a technical level, things not looking super awesome right now. But when the technicals look kind of rubbish, when there's a lot of fear in the market, usually is the best time to buy. I'm just saying, that's how it's usually working, guys. So you don't need to obsess about timing the bottom perfectly or selling the top perfectly. Just investing lessons of the day, I suppose. By the way, if you do want to buy some Bitcoin, or you need a place to sell it when you start laddering out later on, whatever it might be, you need to get yourself an account over on BINANCE. It is the best exchange for buying and selling spot markets for a crazy range of different cryptocurrencies. They accept more than 50 different fiat currencies. So for most people in the world, you're going to be able to come over to Binance, buy your hot altcoins, buy your Bitcoin, buy your Ethereum, or Chainlink, or Cardano, whatever you might be after. Use the link down in the description to start your account. You'll get 10% off of your trading fees and up to $700 in trading bonuses when trading futures over on Binance. Now let's talk about some good news right now. Ark's buying more Bitcoin. That's nice. We talked about that yesterday as well. They actually bought Bitcoin on Monday, and they bought more Bitcoin on Tuesday. Now, specifically, they didn't buy Bitcoin directly. They bought GBTC shares, so Grayscale Bitcoin shares. I had someone ask the other day, like, Lark, why isn't Ark just buying Bitcoin off of Coinbase? Ark is an investment manager. They basically have all these different ETF products. So these are a stock-like product that's basically a bunch of different stocks bundled up, and they buy the Grayscale Bitcoin shares to add into these products because they can't just buy Bitcoin off of Coinbase and then say, hey, we just happen to own a bunch of Bitcoin, trust us on this. They actually need to have those paper products, which again is part of the reason why a Bitcoin ETF is going to be so important, because then all of these different ETFs and fund managers and all these guys who are never going to buy, or perhaps they can't, in the case of Ark, they can't just go buy Bitcoin and say, hey, we're just going to throw some Bitcoin in our ETF trust here, because they need to have the paper products, which is what the Grayscale Bitcoin shares are. So ETFs are going to definitely moon Bitcoin like crazy, but just nice to see Ark Invest doubling down again, buying more Bitcoin. Okay, it was only $3 million worth of Bitcoin. Only. But hey, that's more Bitcoin buying. Is the FUD over? Speaking of Grayscale, is the FUD over? This is potentially another thought for you when we start to talk about, is the bottom in now for Bitcoin? As I mentioned, as we talked about in the videos, there's been some very, very strange coincidences, even though there necessarily shouldn't be, but there has been a lot of very strange coincidences with Grayscale Bitcoin unlocks, particularly the really big ones, coinciding with downward market movement. Now, this could be because people are shorting the market, media FUD, or simply that investors, they see these unlocks happen, and because it's trading at a discount right now, they run over, and instead of buying Bitcoin off of Coinbase, they buy GBTC shares, because you're essentially buying Bitcoin at a 15 or even 20% discount to the spot price of Bitcoin by buying the GBTC trust. So maybe we just have these periods where the volume kind of dries up because the big money guys, they buy that instead of spot Bitcoin. Something to consider anyway. But now that we have had the major unlocks ending, perhaps that is a moment when we can actually see the price start to have a turnaround. So there's a few more little unlocks happening over the next approximately 3 weeks. None of them are as big as what has already happened. So let's keep an eye on this, see how it all plays out, obviously. But that's a potential narrative that could start coming around to say, hey, look, the bottom might be in for this particular market movement. That is, of course, assuming that this is a mid-cycle bear trend in the exact same but opposite way that 2019, the summer rally, was a bullish trend within a bear market. What we are seeing right now for the price action could simply be a bearish trend within what is still a wider bull market, much like the crypto bull market of 2013, where we had a massive peak, huge correction, lasted for months, market range sideways, finished the year hundreds of percent higher. We could be facing a similar situation here. So something for you to think about anyway. A bit of hopium for you. Also, the trading firm Alameda Research, they bought a lot more Bitcoin below $30,000. This is a very serious research firm. It's headed by Sam Bankman-Fried. He's the owner of FTX. He's a very famous crypto billionaire at this point. They scooped up a bunch of Bitcoin. You can see what the big money guys are doing, who's actually getting Bitcoin, who's putting their money down on the table. ARK Invest, Alameda Research, other people as well. But it's pretty interesting to see these guys making essentially a massive purchase of Bitcoin at $30,000 because their research will be showing them under $30,000. They probably bought around $29,500, $600, $700, something like that. But buying in that range, probably in a year's time or a couple years' time, will have been an incredible decision. Are they going to 100% be right? Could Bitcoin go lower? Who knows? Who knows? And I'm sure that if Bitcoin does go down to $25,000 or $26,000, these guys aren't going to be panic selling the Bitcoin that they bought at $29,700. They're simply going to come in and buy another 100 million worth or something like that, because that's what you do when you have a giant firm that has billions of dollars behind it. This is also a pretty interesting story I wanted to share with you. So remember how yesterday we were talking about how slowly but surely it seems that we're starting to see this narrative shift happening with the big financial players starting to say now good things about crypto all of a sudden. So we had 2 months straight of just FUD, China FUD, banking FUD, regulatory FUD, big financial institutions saying nobody wants to buy a Bitcoin, all that stuff. And yet over the last few days, we started to have positive stories coming out, stories we haven't seen in months, now starting to come out. Very interesting, right? So last week, Goldman Sachs literally came out and said, crypto is not a viable investment. That's what Goldman Sachs said last week. This week, Goldman Sachs is saying that 45% of family offices are keen to get into crypto. So this investment that they think is not viable apparently is ragingly popular with these high net worth individuals, millionaires, 10 millionaires, decamillionaires, that I would say it. People with 100 millionaires, billionaires, people running family offices, very, very popular. Crypto is becoming within those circles. I'm telling you guys, the manipulators may be getting ready to flip the bull switch because the sentiment in this market can change real fast. Within a couple of days, we could go with new paradigm of money again. And just real quick, the final story for today. Tesla, after the B Word conference, has announced they're likely to begin accepting Bitcoin again in exchange for their cars. Cool. Welcome back, Elon. Thanks for coming back to the party, bro. Hope you pump Bitcoin up nice for us. But here's the deal. In the same way that I said it when they first started accepting it, when they stopped accepting it, and now they're going to start accepting it again, it doesn't really matter if Tesla accepts Bitcoin for their cars or not. I mean, yeah, there's an important social proofing aspect that will say to other companies, well, hey, if Tesla's doing it, we can do it too. Not many people are going to buy a car using Bitcoin. Nobody wants to be pizza guy, but with their car, right? So you buy a car today with Bitcoin, and in 10 years' time, that car that you bought for $100,000 or $50,000, let's say $100,000, keep it simple. That car you bought for $100,000 is now worth $1 million in lost opportunity of the Bitcoin that you could have held on to, whereas the car itself is now probably worth half of what you bought it for, if not less. So it's nice, I guess, that he's considering doing this again for his company, but it doesn't really matter. Almost no one's going to buy cars using Bitcoin. A few people will, sure, but it'll be super niche. So it doesn't really matter beyond the social proofing stuff. During the conference, Elon Musk also revealed what his cryptocurrency portfolio looks like. Now, he didn't obviously tell us how much cryptocurrency that he personally owns. He did, by the way, say that SpaceX, his other company, does have Bitcoin on their balance sheets. So both of Elon Musk's companies, Tesla and SpaceX, are holding Bitcoin as a corporate investment to diversify away from cash. So that's really cool. But he said that he owns 3 cryptocurrencies. Not really surprising, to be honest. He owns Bitcoin. He owns Ethereum, which is nice. Great to see that Elon Musk is, looking at Ethereum, understands at least to some extent what the heck Ethereum is, and has invested in it personally. And obviously, the Doge father owns some Dogecoin as well. Who knows how much he owns? It might just be a fun play amount for him, or he could have serious amounts invested into probably just Bitcoin. If it is what he's done with his companies is any indication, maybe Ethereum is just for playing around. Dogecoin's probably just because, it's a joke. He has fun with it. But that's what Elon Musk is holding on to at the moment. Your question for today: how much Bitcoin do you think Elon Musk actually has? In the past, before he bought Bitcoin for Tesla and started getting really into crypto, he said, yeah, somebody gave me some Bitcoin back in the day. It was only like a quarter of a Bitcoin some years ago. I still hold on to it. I've got the keys for it somewhere. But how much do you think he's bought now that he's got into Tesla and he's, of course, the second richest man in the world? Do you think Elon has like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? Maybe a few $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? Maybe Elon's actually Satoshi. He's got 1 million Bitcoin. He's been playing us the whole time. The ultimate troll. Or not. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think. Oh, and just real quick, if anyone's still watching the video, thank you for watching this far through, by the way. But I've got a new service going. We've been testing it out in the comment section to hopefully cut down on the incredible amount of scammers that are going around out there. So definitely make your comments. Hope you guys can talk to each other normally now down in the comment section and share ideas, exchange opinions, be nice to each other, obviously. But I think that the worst part of the scammers, we might be getting that finally under control. Fingers crossed, and we'll see how it plays out over the next few weeks. But just wanted to let you guys have a heads up on that. So thank you to, I can't remember who it was down in the comment section who recommended the service, but we're trying that out now for the channel. So thank you to whoever that was who did make the recommendation down there. Anyway, gone on for long enough. Thanks for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.